Yes, he did. Donnybrook is made possible by the support of the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation and the members of 9PBS.
Thank you for joining us for this special leap year edition of Donnybrook. Great to have you with us. We're also going to invite you before the hour is over to our April 11th Donny Bash. So we'll give you some details. But first, we'll meet the panelists. She's Wendy Wiese from the Big 550, KTRS. We welcome back Bill McClellan from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, from Substack and the founder of the Riverfront Times, and one of our Donnybrook founders, Ray Hartmann. And from the St. Louis American, where he writes that great sports column and edits the news, Alvin Reid. And our official statistician for Donnybrook is Ray Hartmann. You were here on day one in 1987. How many times has Donnybrook appeared on February 29th?
This is amazingly only our second leap year, because leap years every 4 years. Multiply that by 7. There's leap year Thursdays only happen every 28 years. I just happened to look it up, and it looks like 96 was the only other leap year Donnybrook, and there wasn't any local news that I could find. It was Princess Di had announced that her sad mate, she rested.
That could have taken half an hour at a time.
Well, I was single back then, but Princess Di announced her divorce from
She probably just didn't trust herself with you.
I don't think that was it. But anyway, so it was 28 years. And
wow.
But so we have a leap year. I don't know. We got a lot more to talk about.
Statistician and columnist Ray Hartmann, thank you very much. We move on to you, Alvin Reid, not about leap year. But want to talk about MetroLink. We do have, of course, MetroLink in the area since the early 1990s. And yesterday, at a meeting of the East-West Gateway Council of Governments, the regional planning organization, there was a vote to expand MetroLink from just North County through Fairgrounds Park down to Choteau or Chippewa. So it'll be a north-south extension cutting through the heart of St. Louis. What do you think?
I think that was Tony La Russa's first spring training with the Cardinals in 1996.
Okay,
that jumped in my mind.
Was he on MetroLink?
Maybe we talked about that. We probably talked about that.
All right, you know, I really would like to see it go east-west. I think that's where the most riders would be, and then that would create, I think, a little synergy for other routes. But if you're going to build it, and I guess this federal money depends on us building it, then let's do the north-south. So I can get with it. What I cannot get with is those from outlying counties who I really don't think have any knowledge of what really is going on as far as who this will service and why it will service them, taking pot shots at it. They've already said they don't want any part of MetroLink, so just keep your opinions to yourself. And as for the sheriff of Franklin County, who didn't do his homework before the meeting, so thus he didn't vote, letting Steve Ellman down. I mean, what is that?
Well, he wasn't given information. He didn't get the binder in advance. And that's actually important for government bodies to get information in advance.
Yeah, right.
But with regards to their taking pot shots, as you described them, they're part of the Regional Planning Council. It's their job to form opinions. And frankly, those counties which don't have MetroLink are growing in terms of population and residents and jobs at a far greater pace than the counties that have MetroLink.
You know, aside from the fact that the sheriff of Franklin County recused himself or something, if you look at the basic facts of this, it just seems to me it's much more cost efficient to have better bus service and smaller buses and run them more often north-south rather than the great expense of building another light rail system there.
Sure.
I mean, it's prohibitively expensive.
But you do hear the argument about greenhouse gases and the number of people that you can fit on a bus as opposed to the number of people who can get on a MetroLink. And you're right about the funds and using the funds, because that was the threat, you know, that everybody was under when it came to the loop trolley. Remember, we had to keep that going because if not, then the federal dollars would somehow be diminished.
Well, with the buses, use hydrogen buses like Cleveland, Ohio, or electric buses.
Charlie, I think. Oh,
Go ahead. I think we're on the MetroLink path. I think it's too.
Oh.
And you know, we pay a lot of taxes to the federal government in St. Louis region, and so we always have this. Well, it'd be better off if Cleveland had it. You know, no, actually,
no, we're not saying that.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is the dynamic of this is the funding is available
Correct.
for what it's being used. I think that it's the same agency, Vice, that runs the bus service. I think they're well aware of the needs of both buses and trains. It's never going to be look, from the very beginning, politics has made this a difficult difficult system because people didn't want it running here and some wanted it there.
Right.
But the point is, it is definite progress, okay?
It's not progress. Let me tell you something.
But you don't have any alternative, Charles.
No,
Yes,
you do.
We have alternatives. We have clean buses, right?
But that apparently is not being. We don't have the money for it. This is funding.
We don't have the money for this either.
Yes, we do. This is funded by the government.
$1 billion.
This is funded by the federal
No, we have
government.
no way of finding any of that money. And if there's a new president who's Republican in November, then there's going to be zero.
Well,
but let me say this.
Then we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, that's gone. The areas it goes through. Can you tell me, since it started operating in East St. Louis, downtown St. Louis, Clayton, Galleria, are those places doing any better today than they were before? No, it's not. It doesn't provide economic development.
All right, but you're also saying that the people.
That's right.
That can't be the only reason that you have public transport.
That's what the mayor is saying. She's saying that with the NGA and hotels, this is going to be the key. But it's not. Bill is right. You could use little airport vans.
There's
just
no
like we
money for
transport
that.
people there
It's
to
fine.
get
The
around.
funding.
Well, you can use covered wagons too.
Right.
Charlie, and as far as MetroLink, look, as somebody that goes to a lot of sporting events on it, I will tell you over time, MetroLink has a dramatically good effect on people getting to and from sporting events.
You live near
It'd be nice if St. Charles County would,
and neither of us take it on a regular basis.
I take it. I will not. I take it to any sporting event I go to.
There are so few people on MetroLink
I
that
take it.
the head of MetroLink is cutting back the cars from 2 and 3 to 1. He cut back Call Ride. He cut back the Redbird Express.
Yeah,
but now we're going to
Call Ride.
Well, that was a bus too. Wait, that's a bus?
I know, and he cut that back.
Okay, well, you were saying
people are
buses are
complaining
the
People don't want this, apparently.
Well, that's
you don't
because
know
you keep
that.
talking
So,
it
There are
down.
fewer users of public transportation today in the greater St. Louis
think
area than there were before MetroLink.
Light rail is a key component of a whole lot of cities, and
We're not Paris.
But no,
We're not New York
Kansas
and
City.
Washington.
There's other cities where light rail works,
You
and
said this about the-
we have this thing where we gotta constantly run it down every time there's a crime on it. Everything goes on. I think it is worth getting behind, and I don't think it's helpful to keep denigrating.
Have we resolved the turnstile issues yet?
Yeah, they are.
No, they
Okay,
need to pay just like anything else. Yeah, you need to pay before you get on.
It's,
You know,
some
when
people
we
aren't going to be
talked
happy no
about
matter what they
the
do.
trolley, it was that, well, this federal money, we should spend it, and then it turns out that, well, unless you build it up again and keep running it, your government's going to punish you. This sounds
Light
like
rail
the same
isn't
thing.
the but light rail is
I
not
can't
the
compare
trolley.
the two.
They're not the trolley.
If it's so successful, why are they cutting the cars back? Why are they going to one car?
Well,
because
to operate it more
nobody's
efficiently.
riding it.
That's not true.
There are less people in the grocery store. All right, now we going to stop
and
selling
don't forget-
bread or
Not my
what?
grocery store.
A lot of people ride it to work.
Home has changed a lot of things for people, the way they commute.
And a lot of people
Okay,
ride
what
it
we're going to do here is take a quick break, and we're going to ask you to join us April the 11th for Donny Bash. If you enjoyed this, wow. Just imagine seeing it in person. Here are the details.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Renmardia Crowder, Member and Viewer Experience Manager here at, you guessed it, 9 PBS. And we are so excited that you are here with us during another great segment of Donnybrook, everyone's favorite public affairs program. And so we are hoping that you become a member right now. I'm thrilled that I can invite you to 2 things. 1, become a member, and 2, to Donny Bash. That's right, become a member and you can come to Donny Bash on April 11th this year. That's in approximately 6 weeks, and that's just a beautiful way for us to thank you for becoming a member. So at the $75 level, you have the option of the amazing new, hot off the presses, 9PBS 70th birthday mug. Look at that beauty. It is phenomenal. And then we also have the ticket, though, so you can select either that mug or you get a ticket to see Donnybrook live in action, Donny Bash, on April 11th this year at 5:30 p.m. at my favorite place, the Sheldon Concert Hall. You don't want to miss it. So then at the $12 a month level, it's no option. You get both. You get 2 tickets and that amazing 70th birthday mug. And I just want to say quickly, thank you so much for those of you who are members right now, and because we can't continue to do work like this, and we can't continue to do programs like this without you. 70 years is a huge deal, so celebrate with us by getting that mug and meet us in person. You can meet the staff, you can meet the Donnybrookers. It's a lovely event, April 11th at the Sheldon Concert Hall. You don't want to miss it. Invite your friends, invite your family. It's a lovely time. It's so much fun. Like I said, the staff is there. You know, I'll be there, so I am excited to meet and greet some of you. But one of my favorite things is the pre and post reception. So not only do you get to see the live production in action, but you get to also mix and mingle with the Donnybrookers. You know, you can get some drinks, you know, eat some appetizers, and meet Bill and Wendy and everyone else. It is a lovely time. So join us right now. Become a member at 800-568-9099 or go to our website, 9pbs.org. But right now, we're going to head over to my friend Yale and a group of people you might know.
What are you doing on Thursday, April 11th? I know what the 5 people with me are going to be doing. They're going to be at Donny Bash 2024 at the Sheldon. Donny Bash has become a St. Louis tradition, just like toasted ravioli and gooey butter cake and driving on expired temporary tags. It's a St. Louis tradition. And the beauty of it is that we get 5 different viewpoints on things, but all of them agree on one thing, and that is that 9PBS is an essential St. Louis institution.
Absolutely.
That's true.
And 88% of our funding comes locally, you know, so we don't have commercials, so we're not making money, you know, by breaking for a 3-minute or 4-minute commercial break. We rely on contributions from great viewers, and this is our one and only broadcast fundraiser of the year. And it's really unique because we do this in front of a live audience. There's nothing like it in television that I know of anywhere in the country. And it's actually a lot of fun.
And there's not many places around the country as cool as the Sheldon.
Yes.
Just as a
So
great
true.
concert hall, great history, probably a few better examples of performers than we are on that stage.
Not too many, though.
That are all
Some
like
of the
rolling their
greatest
eyes wherever they are.
musicians, yeah.
But the acoustics are amazing, and the whole setup is great. And we get to meet people before and after the show, and it never gets old for us.
And it's just so uniquely St. Louis because you're meeting people. We always kind of feel like we're on a lazy Susan where we're turning around in circles, you know, meeting people, and then they have conversations. And I really do believe that, you know, people find things that they have in common more than they do discuss their differences at Donny Bash.
And we say St. Louis, there's always a contingent of people from Greenville in Illinois.
That's so true.
I don't know why, but it's,
We're very big there.
There's a prison there. No, it's special. And in regard, when we show the clips of past shows, I know people that were in the audience that night and they see themselves and they still get a big kick out of that.
Yes.
They said like, hey, I'm on the commercial. And I said like, yeah, you are.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
cool.
are.
No,
Yes,
so
you
it's
are.
a fun night from beginning to end. And, you know, like Channel 9 will be 70 in September. And I think like, man, we've been around a long time. And then I think to myself, Alvin, you're going to be 64 in September. So I hate thinking about a long time again, you know. But no, it's been serving the St. Louis community for, coming up on 7 decades now, and I hope we do another 7, and I hope we're still doing the show, even though I would be 134 years old. But, you know, it's fun, it's a great night, and we're all happy to be part of it.
Donnybrook has been around. This is the year 38, actually, for Donnybrook. Started in '87, so that means that now Donnybrook has been around for over half of Channel 9's existence.
I've been here not that long, but
been over half. Over
really,
half of mine. That's all I know. That's old enough.
It's not an understatement to say that this is a St. Louis institution, and now Donny Bash itself, where the community actually comes together for an hour, well, for an hour show, but certainly a longer event than that. It really is now ingrained as a St. Louis tradition.
yeah, and I guess, you know, when you guys started back in 1987, I'm sure you didn't realize that, okay, this is it. If you want to see a live television program, Donny Bash is it.
It is.
And I know, I guess the news is live,
We
but
weren't planning on
we're
1988.
actually send it back to Mardia. We'll continue this at the next pledge break.
All right, like I said, everyone, we're 6 weeks out from Donny Bash, and this is one of my very favorite events. You don't want to miss it. I'm not lying. I would never lie to you. Donny Bash is phenomenal. So the countdown has begun. Get your tickets right now, and also become a member, right? So at the $75 level, you've got the option of that ticket to see Donnybrook live at Donny Bash at the Sheldon Concert Hall, or you get the beautiful 9 PBS 70th birthday mug. That's a limited edition, hot off the presses. That is so new. I just laid eyes on it earlier today, and it was a big reveal. It's amazing. So then at the $12 a month level, we've got the 2 tickets and that beautiful mug. 2 tickets to see Donny Bash live in action. You know, if you liked what you just saw, you know, and you hear the Donnybrookers talking and you hear their lively banter and wittiness, you know, you get to see that live at the Sheldon Concert Hall on April 11th. So give us a call at 800-568-9099. You can call or text to give to that number, or go to our website, 9pbs.org. We make it super easy for you. You know, you do not want to miss Donny Bash live in action. And you also don't want to miss the rest of Donnybrook. So let's head back over to that.
We'll see you in April, no joke. Okay, Ray Hartmann, I want to ask you about a measure, actually several measures in the city of St. Louis, which would put new burdens on people who own surface level parking. There have been problems with surface level parking. Cars have been broken into in downtown St. Louis, and then a lot of yucca-pucks get in their cars and they drive around in circles and donuts and they do crazy stuff at night. So the city is saying, okay, if you own one of these surface level parking lots, at your expense, you better put up a fence. You have to have a sentry there. If you're not going to have a sentry, at least you have to have an automated gate that goes up and down. I think the city of St. Louis should fund some of those police officers and drive around downtown St. Louis and quit shifting the burden to the private business owner who's not at fault for all this crime.
Charlie, every issue we have about crime, you always come back, well, we got to hire more police officers. Great. We all would like to. Good luck trying to find them to work and so forth. But no, this is, I know the downtown residents have been calling this for a long time, calling for this for quite a while. Good for the city that they're doing this. Unmanaged and unfenced surface level parking lots are actually a source of crime. They're actually something that it is very clear that having them fenced and having them, I think they should go further and have security requirements on them. That's a cost of doing business if you have a surface parking lot downtown. And if you don't have those kind of rules, then those people are not, those businesses that are doing just fine are contributing to the crime problem. So no, I think it's a very reasonable thing to expect.
Criminals are contributing to the crime problem.
Of course.
I don't think we should make it any harder on businesses that are trying to stay in the city of St. Louis.
Well, I think Ray has a point, though, that the fences just make it a little more difficult for the criminals. And I wish that people were better and we didn't have to worry about that, but we do. And the fences are a rather inexpensive help. And anything we can do to help.
And I think that's reasonable. Let's say the city says, look, in this downtown or within these borders, you have to have a fence, you have to have lighting. I think that's reasonable. Responsible companies, good companies, like 9PBS, has a fence around their parking lot and a really nice gate, okay? And I think that's not too much to ask. I really don't. And I think patrons would appreciate that. I think that would actually help people come downtown.
We thank you for not taking a pay increase this year so we could build that parking lot. But let me say this. There's a trend in the city of St. Louis right now where if there's crime, let's say, with people with those skateboards, what do they call those again?
The
motorized scooters.
The scooters, yeah.
They don't punish the guys who are causing the crime, they take away the scooters. Or if Kia cars are stolen, they don't punish the guys stealing the cars, they punish Kia. At Schnucks, they said, oh, you're having some problems with theft? It's your fault. Hire more security.
Charlie.
It's a whole attitude that says,
the people who invest in the city are wrong.
Right, exactly right.
No, because no one's saying don't punish the criminals. That's just ridiculous. Obviously, everybody wants to punish the criminals. It's a false choice. If you want to hold a company responsible, like Kia, for its clear record of being a reason that cars get stolen. I mean, it's true. And contributing, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But that doesn't mean you're going to let the criminals go. It just means you can do both at the same time.
If you put a fence and a sentry around the shoot-'em-up shell up there, crime would be reduced. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Boy, there's another one, too.
Yeah, that one's got a little more to it than that.
No, but I'm just saying.
No, I agree with you.
If it had a fence.
And if you had more than 2 police officers per district for an 8-hour shift,
if you had a
you might also have.
There's no question about that, Charlie, but right now we don't have the cops, we don't have the money. So
we don't have the money.
We have the money. We have the money.
Oh, okay, well, we should spend the money on more police officers, but a fence is a relatively simple thing to do to help, and I think most businesses, especially that operate downtown at night, I mean,
it's not going to run any businesses out of downtown to put a fence up.
Well,
and if they're that thin, they shouldn't be there.
I don't think that's.
Let me go to.
You can't generalize like that.
Yes, you can.
Bill McClellan, I want to ask you about Vivek Malek. He's the state treasurer, and it was a little bit unusual. Well, the whole thing's unusual. In the state, there are unregulated slot machines at gas stations and bars all around. I spoke to the Sunset Hills Rotary yesterday, and they said, oh, yeah, there's one over at the Amico, one down at the BP, you know. People sit there for 2-3 hours at a time just throwing money in. Well, Vivek Malek, at no state expense, had the owner of these machines put up stickers on them telling Missourians how they can cash in on unclaimed money. You know, sometimes people have bank accounts that go dormant, they lose the money. Well, the state has that money. And so with this 800 number and the state seal, this little sticker was providing a great public service to those who obviously need the money, don't you think?
No, of course not. I mean, you could go to the gas station and put it on their front door or something, and people could see it. This is just a way to make those illegal gambling machines seem legal. And it's crazy, but Steve Tilley, the former Speaker of the House, you know, those Uber lobbyists, Mike Parsons' friends, got control of the marijuana industry, and now he's got the gambling industry. These are the conservative people who now run this, and Malek being a Parson appointee, this is just kind of helping Steve Tilley out. It's crazy.
So
well, you're gonna Andrew Bailey, who's running, who's currently the Attorney General, took money from Torch, that's the company, and so he's saying, well, as Attorney General, Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state, I can't do anything about the illegal gambling machines. You're going, what are you talking about?
This is like Tammany Hall stuff here. I mean, illegal, like, you put the state sticker on an illegal gambling machine, had no problem in it, and apparently in a meeting where all this was hashed out in Steve Tilley's airport hangar somewhere. This is straight out of The Godfather.
You guys, you're making so much of a big deal out of nothing.
Oh,
do
Charlie.
you get upset with the illegal gambling in offices for NCAA March Madness pools?
No,
I don't think so.
No, but this is totally different. This is something.
It's money.
No, if we're going to have gambling machines, if we're going to have slot machines, let's have them and let the state regulate them, and the We'll get the tax money. It'll help schools. The idea that, well, this guy's a friend of the governor, so he can do it.
This is such a scam.
How about March Madness? Why don't we?
Oh, Charlie, apples, oranges. This is such a scam. It is so depressing to think that it was one of those, it seems like, as you said, at the hangar when they were having the meeting on this, where obviously nobody said, is this possibly improper?
Or at least a bad idea?
State seal on an illegal gambling machine. And they're not even embarrassed by it. They're leaning into it.
I agree it's a really bad idea. I think in terms of the treasurer himself, Malek, he actually, I thought at least he was refreshingly, I guess if you want to call it that, not, today's politics, you never admit you were wrong, you never back off, you never listen to anybody, and maybe it took this step to get him to do it, but when you look at some of the people running against him for treasurer, this, in my mind, is not a hanging offense when you look at some of the alternatives on the Republican side.
Exactly.
I'd say it's a disqualification.
Well, I don't think so. Let me say something.
Until you bring in Andrew Koenig.
When you get a call that Mr. Tilley wants to meet you at his hangar
you better look at.
Let me tell you something.
Bill, look at Andrew Koenig and some of the other people.
Let me tell you something. You guys are so upset about stickers on machines. Right now, we get letters here at 9 PBS from people in Dogtown whose water's coming out at a trickle. They're not even getting running water.
What does this have to do with anything?
You should be concerned about.
Charlie, the one thing I will say is you'll be as concerned once those tickets expire. You'll be all over. That'll be your thing.
Touche. Who's next? Let's go to you, Wendy Wiese, about the Girl Scouts of the Eastern District of Missouri. They clamped down on 8 Girl Scouts who were selling bracelets for the children in Gaza, for Palestinian boys and girls who are the victims of some of the warfare there. They said that they were operating outside of Girl Scout rules. Whose side did you take in this one?
I don't think you can really take a side when children are being killed, children are being wounded. It's an unacceptable, offensive thing that's happening in Gaza and in Israel. And I think, unfortunately, this is such a highly charged political situation that when you have bracelets with the Palestinian flag and Palestine, you have to acknowledge that part of your membership in the Girl Scouts are also, they're Jewish. And that does become, that in my opinion, that becomes political. When you have Cori Bush and Rashida Tlaib sporting the bracelets, it becomes even more political because while the dust hadn't settled on October 7th and Cori Bush was asking the United States to disinvest in Israel. So it is a political issue, and I don't think you can have you can't have an organization. I don't buy Girl Scout cookies because they're too expensive and I don't need the extra calories. But you can't say that that we've decided we're not going to sell the cookies like the rest of the Girl Scouts of America. We're going to sell bracelets instead, because then you're inviting all sorts of issues.
Well, except Wendy, when Isa Sultan wrote the column about it, she mentioned that Girl Scouts had raised money for the children of Ukraine. And I think that any Girl Scout organization that wants to raise money to help people, whether they're Native Americans on a reservation, the kids in Gaza, kids in Ukraine, I think that's a good thing for kids to do. And the fact that, hey, there's a political angle to this, or, to tie it to like Cori Bush, I just don't see that.
Well, but to me, the Russian-Ukrainian situation, that's a one-sided fight. That's not what this is in Gaza, for starters, in my opinion. They also suspended, you were able to raise money, I believe, through the Girl Scouts from October to January. When it came time for cookie time, though, to make the unilateral decision as a troop that you're not going to sell the cookies, you're going to sell the bracelets because you're grieving, and everybody understands that you're grieving. But I think this is a no-win situation for the Girl Scouts.
Well, it's no win, but I see little girls trying to do the right thing.
Well,
And
that's a
true.
courageous position.
That's
No,
true. But it's-
well, let me say this.
I mean,
I admire the courage you guys have. I mean, defending little girls doing the right thing is hard. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, I think the problem here is that the Girl Scouts seem to have a policy they're not following. And that is and I think it's a bad policy. I think you guys are absolutely right. But if you're going to have a policy that says we only raise as Girl Scouts for the Girl Scout, it's kind of hard to, I'm with you that they can't pick and choose.
Except
you,
they
Ray.
do.
Well, but they should.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
We've got a policy, and that is that we want to invite you to Donny Bash, April 11th. Details here.
Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you so much for joining us during another incredible episode of Donnybrook. I know I get a thrill every time I hear the exciting conversation that they have around the round table. It reminds me of the interesting conversations I have with my family, right? And that's what we want to invite you to become part of our family by becoming a member right now. Maybe you're a member already. Thank you so much. And if you're on the fence and you're thinking about it, you're like, I want to go to Donnybrook or Donny Bash, but I don't know. You've got 6 weeks, you know, so the clock is ticking. You want to join us at the most fabulous community event that there is, Donny Bash Live at the Sheldon Concert Hall on April 11th of this year. It's at 5:30. It's an incredible event, I promise you. So that's at the $75 level. You have the option of getting that ticket, one ticket to Donny Bash Live, or you get the 70th birthday mug. That's a limited edition, hot off the presses 70th birthday mug to 9 PBS. And then at the $12 a month level, you have the option of, or no, it's not an option, you get both. You get 2 tickets and that 9 PBS 70th birthday mug. Like I said, limited edition, you know, that actually we won't be shipping for a month or so. So I know if you place that order right now and you're like, I want it tomorrow, you know, we promise we will get it to you, but it is an awesome mug. And so these are just the ways that we want to say thank you so much for becoming a member, joining us at not only Donny Bash, but joining us and becoming a member right now. 70 years. We're turning 70 years at 9 PBS, and that's all because of members and viewers like you. So give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099 or go to our website, 9pbs.org. But right now, we are going to go over to my friend Yale and the Donnybrookers.
Thank you, Ern Mardia. We are back at the big table with the Fab Five, who are all going to be assembled at the Sheldon on April 11th, Thursday night, 6 weeks from tonight. You gotta get your tickets for Donny Bash. It's really 3 events in one. You've got the cocktail reception beforehand, which is kind of like our red carpet event. All the Donnybrookers will come out and be received by their admirers. Wow. And then we'll have a full hour show of Donnybrook with audience participation. At the end of the show, you'll get an opportunity to do a little Q&A, and then afterwards, the party continues with the after party, all self-contained right there in the comfort of the Sheldon complex. It's going to be a fantastic night, but I have to ask all of you, what is going through your mind right before you get ready to take the stage in front of 700 of your dearest admirers? What goes through your mind when you get ready to do a live Donnybrook for twice the amount of time that you ordinarily do it?
Well, in my case, I just hope that we can somehow in the next hour coax Ray out of his shell.
Yeah,
and
he's
entice
very
him
shy.
to speak up a little.
Well, and Alvin too. Alvin is very shy.
And right before we go on, Wendy and I usually talk about how come we're not going on Thursday. You know, we don't get those.
Yeah, what's up with those guys? We don't get the love.
I'm also wondering, do we get paid for 2 shows since it's a full hour, or is it just 1 show?
I have a more lucid approach. It's like, don't fall down.
That's my thing.
Don't fall down.
Don't fall down.
Don't fall down.
Don't fall
Now, one thing I will say, we've been interacting with our audience for all this time. I've never really felt received.
I haven't
you said
either.
we've been received.
We will be received.
I avoid receivers.
That's something that happens in a salon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
believe.
it's literally called a reception, right?
I know, but we're not.
Pay attention.
Yeah, you also said that we'll be assembled at the Sheldon. I thought there was no assembly required.
Well, okay.
Oh, we're just so witty tonight.
Just
Well, there is a very large store just down the street that handles that kind of business.
And
but
they
no,
have Swedish meatballs.
That is true.
That's right.
That is true. It is an assembly. It's not like
It's
a school.
It's a party.
Yeah, it almost is like a school assembly, actually, when you really think about it. I mean, you know, it's a big auditorium. You've got the stars on the stage, and everybody just pays rapt attention to what's going on up there.
And it's, as Alvin said, it's our 70th anniversary this year, 2024. Great legacy, 9 PBS, KETC here in St. Louis. And this is our big fundraiser. This is how we, pay the electric bill when people go to our Donny Bash on April 11th and hopefully enjoy a great show.
And you can imagine we have a large electricity bill.
Yes.
And it's fun to see the reactions that we have. Alvin always rises to the occasion. I mean, a live audience does, Alvin was in drama in high school.
Yep.
And the live audience kind of
Well,
turns it on.
and the key thing to the live audience is very interactive with us, and that's a key part of this. I mean,
They come
really,
to play.
partly us, but it's just the audience. It's just like in a lot of different contexts when an audience kind of gives whoever might be on stage or field or whatever a little energy. And that definitely happens.
Yeah, well, when you look out and you see them, and these people are looking at you, and this goes back to anybody who's, done this, even like you say, all of a sudden you realize that it's like, okay, this ain't the zoo. I have to entertain these
That is
people.
right. And we're going to send it back to Mardia.
Like they said, it is a great legacy of 70 years, you guys, 70 years that we're celebrating our birthday here at 9 PBS. And so that is only because of members and viewers like yourself. So help us to get maybe 70 more years. Join us in the 70 more years in the future by becoming a member right now. And we want to say thank you by offering you the option of one mug at the $75 level. You get a mug, that 70 birthday mug of 9 PBS, or you get one ticket to Donny Bash Live at the Sheldon Concert Hall on April 11th. You don't want to miss it. The clock is ticking, you guys. Those tickets are going fast. So that is at the $75 level. Then at the $12 a month level, you have 2 tickets and the mug. 2 tickets and the Happy Birthday 9 PBS mug. So you can drink out of that every day with your coffee and know that you are a member of the 9 PBS family and that you've helped us get to 70 and hopefully to 70 more. So you've joined us on April 11th at Donny Bash Live, and that is at the Sheldon Concert Hall. It's gonna be an amazing event. So give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099 or go to our website at 9pbs.org. That's NINEPBS.org. But right now, let's go back to another segment of Donnybrook.
Thank you very much. We will see you in April. Alvin, Reid, there seems to be another fissure between the mayor of the city of St. Louis and the president of the Board of Aldermen. Last week, they had dueling press conferences on Friday when it came to red light and speed cameras. As you know, since some judicial action in 2015, we haven't had red light cameras in most of the state of Missouri. Well, St. Louis, under certain conditions, wants to bring them back. But the president of the Board of Aldermen says she would like to also have any news surveillance by the police and any artificial intelligence to be subject to aldermanic approval and public hearings. The mayor at her press conference said, hey, we have too many people dying in the streets. She looked into the camera and she said, call your alderman. So it looks like there's a dispute between these two. What's going to happen?
Well, I think that this is kind of like some political theater between the two. You know, when Megan Green was elected, she said, "I'm not going to be a rubber stamp for the mayor." And the mayor said she didn't expect that. So now everyone's saying, "Oh, there's a war, there's a fissure and all that." Now, in fact, I think they're kind of on the same page. Wink, wink. Okay. These things are illegal. They're constitutional. You could put one of those stickers on there, you know, for where to claim your funds on those because they're unconstitutional. I don't like them. We should not go back to them. I would challenge it if I got a ticket by one. I don't care if my face was on there, you know, whatever. They're just wrong. So let's not go there. Let's not do that. It would be challenged in court. Most of the state would say that they're illegal. Why even go down this path? Just hire more police officers.
Right. You know, and I'd like to hire more police officers too, of course. But I think that the traffic situation has gotten so out of control that this is like fences on the downtown lots. I wish we didn't need them, but we do. And I think we ought to have the red light cameras and really go after anybody who, you know, I'm not talking about just making the yellow or making an illegal right on red, but, you know, who zooms through. And on your show last week, I think it was, the week before, I think Sarah Fensky brought up that a lot of these cars are stolen. So I'd like a package where we go after stolen cars more, like the kids who are caught in a stolen car. There's really not much you can do because you can't prove they stole the car. I think that we ought to change those laws too and make it tougher on kids who are in stolen cars. I mean, if I'm 16 years old and Ray comes over to my house and neither of us have a car and Ray's got a shiny new car, I know when I get in that car it's stolen.
Well, you don't have to tell our business. But I disagree with you on this point. First of all, if they want to put cameras at every intersection as a tool for officers to be able to solve crimes where they can see what people are driving, that's one thing. Red light cameras as a traffic enforcement thing, Alvin's correct, not only are they unconstitutional, but they don't work. Okay, and they are at best a regressive tax. So when they were $100, they were killer for poor people, people of limited means, and for people that could afford them, they were an irritant. And also, there were people of more means have a better ability to get out from under them. They don't work. They don't stop. They don't solve. And they cause.
We just had two more people.
I know, but that would not. They do not work for those kinds of things. Oh, you think people driving 80 miles an hour, these, you know, whoever, whatever you call them, fools running around the city, and we know they're there. You think they're going to slow down for a camera?
Well,
no,
we're
they're
going to
not.
take their cars away, Ray.
But you can't. I said, if you want to have...
That's what you have to do. You have to have consequences for running those red lights.
I get it, but you can't... If you want to use the cameras to track people down who are doing that stuff, it's one thing. But the idea of giving them these automated cameras, which are just about raising money and nothing else.
I want to go back to Megan Green's proposal. Okay,
about AI.
Yeah, well, or the Attorney General does a report every year. And what does it show? Black people get stopped more than white people all through the state. Now, in the city of St. Louis, the first 100 people that get a ticket on one of these cameras, probably 90 of them are going to be black. They're going to cry foul, go to the Board of Aldermen, who's going to say, like, oh, this is wrong. Right. He said, well, no, it's just a red light camera. It doesn't see color and all that. And that'll be your first big argument, lawsuit
But you don't
city.
think that Megan Green and Mayor Jones know that already?
No, I mean, I'm saying that this whole... If you're going to do it, Megan Green wants to you have to review the police and all that. I mean...
And AI.
Yeah, man, that's...
Red light cameras will not
Ray, I want to ask you, let's move on to one more topic because time is limited. Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois would like a 35% tax on gambling, sports gambling, that is. That's pretty high, but of course he's got deficits in the state of Illinois. And after all, income tax is, 35, 37, and 39% in this country, right? So why not pay a 35% sports gambling tax?
It feels a little high to me, honestly. But, I mean, I don't disagree with the concept. The thing about Illinois is if you listen to Pritzker talk, if you listen to Illinois politics, they actually relate services to revenue. They actually talk about, they have a much better support of their school system than we do in Missouri. They have a lot of things they do better pay their troopers better, all the things that you would want them to do because of revenues. And it's like refreshing, at least, to hear a governor talk about the possible. Now, I'm not in a position, it sounds a little high to me, but as far as the basic premise, I wish Missouri politicians could at least have a little bit of awareness and consciousness of the fact that the money you raise from revenues has something to do with the quality of life of your citizens.
Can I quibble with that?
That's all.
Because I drive on those Illinois roads in the Metro East, like 55, 64, and they are horrendous. And the gasoline tax in Illinois is much higher than Missouri. I disagree that all services in Illinois paid for by the taxpayers are better.
Most of them.
I would say
I wonder what it's like up in Chicago.
Right.
Probably, I mean, I wonder if the roads are any better in Chicago.
Well, I mean, when you drive, you know, when Bryce was in school up there, we were up there all the time. It's about the same everywhere. You know, you're on a bad road, one way, another one. I think that tax is too high, but you can call it a vice tax if you want. It should be taxed. It should be a revenue generator big time, be it legalized marijuana, be it gambling. You know, I understand
the
that.
gambling. I mean, can you imagine
We'll
the
find
profits?
some way to let Steve Tilley do this.
That's what I was
any money.
thinking. That's what I was
But
thinking.
you don't want to
we'll
tax
cut
your
education completely out of the picture.
You
You're right,
don't want to tax your way into people not gambling. And I think maybe at 35%, not everybody it's like the Penamane.
I think we do want to do that.
No,
Gambling is a fool's errand.
No, that's
and it's playing upon people without money and like people in my family who shall remain nameless.
That horse left the barn when Paul Revere was riding.
Well,
that's over, right?
That is so true.
I want to Alvin to Alvin's
the
point.
house always wins
it's
in
not,
gambling.
I don't
We
agree.
know that except for when I win.
I'd say one thing.
You're good at what you do, right?
Alcohol can have nutritive benefits.
Well, and the only thing I'd slightly disagree with is it won't keep people from gambling, but it might push them to the offshore sort.
Good point.
And the problem with having it too high is you can, at some point, the folks in Cayman Islands or wherever that are offshore can move in, but absolutely, you really, you're not creating more gamblers with this.
I say don't gamble, but instead send your money to 9PBS, and we'll tell you how you can join us at Donny Bash just around the corner. But first, let's find out what the viewers had to say about last week's program. Many of us in University City will agree there shouldn't be property taxes for the WashU campus and its education buildings. We should protest when the university buys residential and commercial properties, which takes them off the tax rolls. That from Ed Probst of University City. Did Chief Tracy agree to the $175,000 city salary? Did he know about the extra $100,000 from concerned citizens? It never ceases to amaze me what you think is acceptable behavior by public officials. Did all of you share a doobie before the show? Again, that from Andrew Podletsky of Florissant.
We paid tax on it.
We also have these comments from the 9 Line.
Hi, my name is David Ottinger, and I'm president of the Vivo CID, SID. And in terms of relaxing the liquor laws or applying for a liquor license, I'm adamantly opposed to that. I've been involved in more than one closing down of one bar, and it's much easier to open one and the owner to get the signatures required and go through the hearings than it is for the residents to close a bad one. So any relaxation of those laws is just completely wrong. Thank you.
My name is J.R. Moore. I'm calling from South St. Louis. Concerning the homeless people living at Spring and Chippewa, I just wonder how long that would last in the city of Ladue. Thank you very much.
Good point.
Thank you, JR, and thank you, David. You can write us care of 9PBS 3655 Olive Street, St. Louis, Missouri 63108. You can also send us your emails at donnybrook@9pbs.org. On social media, use hashtag DonnybrookSTL. Call the 9 Line at 314-512-9094 and listen to us on your favorite podcast source, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and TuneIn. Great to have Bill back for this broadcast. We'll be back next week, and I'll tell you what, we're going to, in just a moment, ask you once again to join us on April the 11th.
Donnybrook is made possible by the support of the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation and the members of 9PBS.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much again for joining us for yet another amazing episode of Donnybrook. You know, and I know you're sitting at home and you're probably like, man, I wish that I could just be there and be at the table with them, you know, hear them, rub elbows with them, maybe drink a couple of cocktails. Well, guess what? You have the opportunity to do just that. When you become a member of 9PBS, not only have you helped us celebrate, we're coming up on 70 years. 70 years. You have helped us do that, but you get to come and join us for Donny Bash, and that's on April 11th at the Sheldon Concert Hall. So at the $75 level, you have the option of getting a 70th birthday mug of 9PBS 70th birthday, or you get a ticket to see Donny Bash live on stage at the Sheldon Concert Hall. And at the $12 a month level, you will receive 2 tickets and that 70th birthday mug. That's right, 2 tickets. And this is such a great way of us just wanting to say thank you so much. Think about it as like a warm hug from us to you, you know, and that 70th birthday mug right there is absolutely our way of, you know, saying to you, thank you so much for helping us for 70 years and maybe many, many more. So give us a call at 800-568-9099 or go to our website, 9pbs.org. That's NINEPBS.org. Call or text GIVE to that number or go to our website. But right now, we're going to go over to the table of Donnybrookers and Yale.
Fun fact, the week of Donny Bash, all 5 of St. Louis's local contact sports are going to be in action. You'll have the Cardinals, the Blues will still be playing, St. Louis City SC will be playing, and the Battlehawks will be playing, and the 5th contact sport, Donnybrook, will also be live on stage here in St. Louis on April 11th at the wonderful Sheldon. It's going to be a fantastic night. It's 6 weeks. It's 6 weeks from tonight. We are all going to be at the Sheldon, and hopefully you will also be at the Sheldon. And I have to ask the panel, first of all, in light of recent events, what do you think the temperature is going to be?
I was going to say, it'll probably be cooler than it was Tuesday.
Yeah, it'll either be 20 degrees or 100 degrees if it's St. Louis in April.
Exactly. If we've learned anything this week is that we have range in a lot of things, particularly when it comes to matters meteorologic. 6 weeks from now, what do you think the big stories are going to be that you're going to be talking about? You're going to have a whole hour, so you're going to have a lot of opportunities to talk about a lot of different things. What do you think the big stories are going to be in 6 short weeks from now?
The Cardinals will get swept by the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani will go off, and everybody will be ready to fire the manager.
And how about the primaries?
I was just say the primaries.
Well, it's caucus now. Ours is.
Ours is.
Well, isn't there a primary in April?
The primaries, the presidential thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
When is Super Tuesday? I mean, that will March 5th, yeah.
Okay,
So we'll have plenty to talk about.
That's a lot of
Post-mortem. Yeah.
But,
We usually don't do national.
yeah, it's really kind of hard to predict. I mean, unfortunately, we have a lot of the same themes kind of come up over and over with crime and various things that, you know, we'd love a show where we didn't talk about any of that.
Hopefully nothing.
A lot of stuff repeats itself. I don't know. I mean, that is an interesting thing that all of the sports teams are playing at the same time. I had thought about that, and it's we need something like caw-caw, but I don't know what it would be.
I thought it was, is it caw-caw or is it caw-caw? Caw-caw.
Whatever it is, but we need something like that.
And hey, $75 is cheaper than any athletic.
There you go. We're the cheapest.
We're the cheapest game in town.
That's the best. You could.
Plus, you get a mug.
You get good. Yeah,
that's true. You get a mug. You don't get unlimited hot dogs and nachos or anything like that, like you do in the green seats at Busch.
You
do get hors d'oeuvres.
Very good hors d'oeuvres.
And dessert.
And dessert.
And your gift supports the station all year round. It's not just one night. You're not just paying for one night.
How many people go for the mug and not the ticket? I want to meet that guy.
I was going to say my wife.
She's met us.
I was just going to say,
the thrill is gone for Dr.
I want to support
McClellan.
the station, but I went once.
Mary has been to every Donny Bash we've had.
Well, and you bring your ringers.
I bring my grandkids, and a matter of fact, we're talking about traditions. I think my granddaughter,
She closes
Evie,
out the show.
who closes out the show with a question. I think that's become
so
a tradition.
cute. It has
and I hope that she'll come again this year. You know, she's 13 now.
I don't think she's dating anybody.
The questions could be evolving.
That's right.
Just wait, Can I have the keys? Right.
Yeah. Can we talk about my allowance?
Well, and speaking of closing out the show, it is our time to close out the show, so we're going to send it back to the other studio and Mardia.
Hi, everyone. You know, I always love when Yale asks the question about what is going to be the biggest story in 6 weeks. Hopefully the biggest story is that you are A, a member, B, at Donny Bash. That's right. So then you'll have stories to tell all of your friends, you know, all about hobnobbing with the Donnybrookers and the 9 PBS staff here, you know, and just having a really great time. Like I said, it is my favorite event of the entire season. I love meeting all of you. That's right. And so it is our way of saying thank you so much for joining us as a member and supporting us. And so at that $75 level, you will receive the option of that 9 PBS birthday, 70th birthday mug, or a ticket to see Donny Bash live on stage at the Sheldon Concert Hall on April 11th at 5:30. And what's great about this event is that the pre-reception starts 5:30. You get to see the taping, and then after the taping, you get to join us for a post-reception. So the entire evening is amazing. So at the $12 a month level, you receive 2 tickets and that 9 PBS 70th birthday mug. And that's right, you can drink out of that mug and know that you have supported us and helped us to get to 70 and hoping to launch us to 70 more. So give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099. Call or text GIVE to that number or go to our website, 9pbs.org. And that's just our way of saying thank you so much for helping to sustain us and do the work that we do. You love Donnybrook. We can only continue to produce programs just like this one because of you. So become a member. Give us a call at 800-568-9099 or the website, 9pbs.org. Thanks so much.